Dave Cota joining us here, and he is the town manager of Carrabassett Valley. The new newsletter is Connections. You can pick that up at many local areas, and lots of different interesting articles about people and places here in the area. And we're back to talking about some of the issues that are coming up that you're working on right now. Dave, maybe you can bring us up to date. What's going on?
Well, some of the newer items that we're working on with the Board of Selectmen and committees and et cetera, et cetera. There's a lot of talk about possibly purchasing 250 acres of the so-called Ted Jones lot. There's a lot of logistics to it. This is a deal. Thank you. There's the map right there. You can see that shaded area is the lot, and if you look real closely, there is a right-of-way easement that extends all the way out to the carriage road. Otherwise, it would make no sense. It's about 1 mile south of Valley Crossing. It's 250 acres, and the connection again is the old narrow gauge pathway, the old going to Kingfield. So once again, Larry Warren has brokered a deal that would allow the town to buy that for 150,000 acres, much below appraised value. The purpose for the benefits for the town are potential trail development, mountain bike trail development. We believe we can get a couple miles of trails in there, and also we can continue forest, our progressive sustainable forest management there. So over time it would actually pay for the lot, as was the case with town purchased the state lot. So we think it's a good investment. The selectmen do. They're very supportive of it. So we're looking at that possibly at the town meeting.
It's very strategic.
A couple of other improvements. We're looking at expanding and improving the information center, Flagstaff area business. Maine High Peaks is doing a great job. It's exciting to see. They've been in there for 5 or 6 years, and it's good to see the place being used and
right.
et cetera. And there's no well or septic system there. We need to make these improvements and help them expand it. So that's it's not going to be a cheap one, $140,000, but I think the selectmen feel it's a good project, and we'll be asking the town at March to help financing it. The good news is when the town purchased the state lot in the year 2000, it was a 20-year note to pay for that. That goes away in 2020. So the thinking is to combine the purchase of the Ted Jones lot, 150,000, and also the improvements to the information center, 140,000, into one note, which would be about the same money. So when one goes away, the other one comes in. So it wouldn't be any major impact on taxes. We're still spending money, yes, but they would both be town assets. So so it's another project the Recreation Committee's working on is doubling the size of the town pavilion and some other improvements, storage facilities down at the town park to help facilitate the outdoor adventure camp, which Marshall White runs and does such a great job with. It's a program that's people really enjoy, and Deb does a great job. Deb Balker with the recreation program, so it's busy, and it's felt that this is needed. Project we're working on, not a fun project, but currently a airport obstruction removal project that we've had to do in order to maintain the 20-to-1 approaches on both ends of the runway. And
they're not building a new Delta hub then?
We're not building a new Delta hub. We've had to cut trees on people's private property that we've held easements on.
Yeah.
and they've been great. I mean, at the end of the day, folks have been great, but not a project we really wanted to do. But there's a liability involved in with that. If we're going to have an airport, then we've got to have the approaches have got to be taken care of. So.
Dave, where does the town stand in regards to allowing marijuana businesses?
Yeah, that's the other thing. We've been at this since the middle of last summer, as many communities in Maine are continuing, I won't say struggle, but continue to work with this issue. Farmington is a good example of that, and others. And where we stand, the Board of Selectmen saw this coming, and they appointed a committee. That committee's been meeting. I think we've met 5 times. I'm the facilitator for the committee. Having said that, the committee decided to do a survey, and I think a smart idea, at the November 6th general election. Do you want to see 4 types of marijuana businesses located within the community? Those being retail, cultivation, manufacturing, and testing. And there's two sides to this. There's the medical marijuana side. There is the adult use marijuana side. And these are allowed under recently passed legislation, the state legislation. But here's the key for towns to be able to allow these businesses, the voters, the legislative bodies in the communities have to, quote, opt in. And the way that we feel the prudent way to do it would be to construct an ordinance that would put in the proper safeguards, odor control, lighting, security, limit the number of these types of businesses, which zones they should and shouldn't be allowed in, so that we've really got the foundation for, to allow this if the voters wish to do this. The survey was, from the residents anyway, from the voters, there was 331 folks that voted, and 60% of them voted in favor of these businesses on the retail side.
Right.
55-45 on the other businesses in favor of. So that's, but I will say there is another piece to this survey business, and we are conducting a Survey Monkey survey, and folks can go online as we speak, and we're encouraging people to do it. There's an article on it on the latest in the town newsletter that you just alluded to. That you can go on the town website, carabassetvalley.org, and go on this survey, and we encourage people to do it. So that you have until December 15th to do that.
Right.
And then the committee's meeting on the 19th. Committee's meeting on the 19th to review survey results and then kind of move forward. But we've also hired an attorney to help us through this process.
Sure.
The same attorney that Farmington has used, the town of Damascoggin has used, so it's an attorney that's familiar with laws pertaining to marijuana businesses. So
Right.
with the idea that we create an ordinance and then see where things go.
Well, you're being proactive and addressing any of the impacts it may have to other people, and that's just the way.
Yeah, then it's
right
up to
way
the
do it.
voters. I mean,
Yeah.
it's, we're not, we've had a very transparent and a very objective process, and I commend the folks on the committee. There are, Kyle Strand's on it, and there's, Bruce Miles was just in here, he's on it, and there are others, there's two selectmen on it, Jay Reynolds and Lloyd Cutler, so, it's important to, again, be objective and transparent, and you can't hide your head in the sand, this is out there.
Right.
So what do folks want to do, and if they want to allow this, then let's do the right thing and make sure we put in the proper protections, and then things move on.
Fantastic. Boy, thanks for bringing us up to date. Lots of different things going on, and I think you covered them all. And if people want more information, we would encourage them to pick up these connections available in most local businesses or stop by the town office.
Yep.
Thanks, Dave. Always
All
a
right.
pleasure to see you.